Enchanted is a 2007 American musical fantasy romantic comedy film, produced by Walt Disney Pictures with New York Academy Barry Sonnenfeld and Josephson Entertainment. Written by Bill Kelly and directed by Kevin Lima, the film stars Amy Adams, Patrick Dempsey, James Marsden, Timothy Spall, Idina Menzel, Rachel Covey, and Susan Sarandon. The plot focuses on Giselle, an archetypal Disney princess, who is forced from her traditional animated world of Andalasia into the live-action world of New York City. Enchanted was the first Disney film to be distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures, instead of Buena Vista Pictures distribution. The film is both an homage to, and a self-parody of, Disney's animated features, making numerous references to Disney's past works through the combination of live-action filmmaking, traditional animation, and computer-generated imagery. It marks the return of traditional animation to a Disney feature film after the company's decision to move entirely to computer animation in 2004. Composer Alan Menken and lyricist Stephen Schwartz, who had written songs for previous Disney films, produced the songs of Enchanted, with Menken also composing its score. The animation sequences were produced at James Baxter Animation in Pasadena. Filming of the live-action segments took place around New York City. It premiered on October 20, 2007, at the London Film Festival before its wide release on November 21, 2007, in the United States. Enchanted was well received critically, established Adams as a leading lady, and earned more than $340 million worldwide at the box office. It won 3 Saturn Awards, including Best Fantasy Film and Best Actress for Adams. Enchanted also received 2 nominations at the 65th Golden Globe Awards and 3 Best Original Song nominations at the 80th Academy Awards. A sequel, titled Disenchanted, is in development. In the animated fairy tale kingdom of Andalasia, the evil Queen Nerissa schemes to protect her claim to the throne, which she will lose once her stepson, Prince Edward, finds his true love and marries her. She enlists her loyal henchman Nathaniel to keep Edward distracted. Giselle, a young woman, dreams of meeting a prince and experiencing a happy ever after. Edward hears Giselle singing and sets off to find her. Nathaniel sets free a captured troll to kill Giselle, but Edward rescues her in time. When they meet, they instantly fall in love and plan to get married the following day. Nerissa, disguised as an old hag, intercepts Giselle on her way to the wedding and pushes her into a well, and she is magically transformed into a 3D live-action version of herself and transported to a manhole in New York City's Times Square. Giselle quickly becomes lost. Meanwhile, Robert, a divorce lawyer, prepares to propose to his longtime girlfriend Nancy, much to the dismay of his daughter Morgan. Robert and Morgan encounter Giselle on their way home, and Robert begrudgingly allows Giselle to stay the night at their apartment at the insistence of Morgan, who trusts Giselle. Pip, Giselle's best chipmunk friend from Andalasia, had witnessed Giselle's exile and alerted Edward thereafter, and both embark on a rescue mission to the city, where they too are turned into 3D live-action versions. But Pip is instead in the form of a real chipmunk, therefore losing the ability to speak. Nerissa sends Nathaniel to follow and impede Edward. In a restaurant, Nerissa appears to Nathaniel in a soup pot and gives him 3 poisoned apples to murder Giselle. Pip eavesdrops but is unable to communicate with Edward, as animals cannot speak outside of Andalasia. Nathaniel keeps Pip silenced by detaining him in various containers. Meanwhile, after Giselle summons vermin to clean Robert's apartment, Nancy arrives to take Morgan to school. She meets Giselle and leaves assuming Robert was unfaithful. Robert is initially upset but spends the day with Giselle, knowing she is vulnerable in the city. Giselle questions Robert about his relationship with Nancy and helps the pair reconcile by sending Nancy an invitation to the King and Queen's costume ball at the Woolworth building. Edward locates Giselle at Robert's apartment. While Edward is eager to take Giselle home to Andalasia and finally marry, she says that they should first go on a date to get to know each other. Still conflicted about her feelings, Giselle promises to return to Andalasia after ending their date at the ball, which Robert and Nancy also attend. Nerissa, who has been spying from Andalasia, decides to follow and kill Giselle herself after Nathaniel failed to poison her twice. Robert and Giselle share a dance with each other and look into one another's eyes, romantically. Giselle and Edward then prepare to leave, but Giselle feels sorrow at leaving Robert behind. Nerissa appears as the old hag and offers the last poisoned apple to Giselle. Promising sweet dreams and happy endings, Giselle takes a bite and is Ren.